All rise. Welcome to the Warsaw-Wayne Township Fire Protection Territory meeting, May 8th at 4 p.m. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll now have a moment of silence. Thank you. Be seated. I want to welcome everybody here this afternoon. We'll start with roll call. Dave Albritton.
Present.
Gordon Nash.
Present.
Jeannie Stackhouse. Chief Schilling.
Here.
Andrew Grossnickel. Heather.
Here.
Here. All right, and I'm here. So.
And I'm here
looks
too.
Mike, yeah, here we go. Yes, Mike. I'm sorry, Mike, present. All right, good. Thanks, Mike. So it looks like Jeannie and Andrew are absent for the record. Thanks, Heather. Thanks, Mike, for that catch.
Yep.
First item here is the approval of the minutes from the April 2nd meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make that motion.
There's a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Again, welcome visitors. And for the record, Chief, welcome.
Thank you.
We've done this a few times,
A
right?
few times, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is the last one.
So tell everybody that's here, how's it going?
It's going well. A lot of meetings, a lot of meeting people, meeting with the department members, seeing what they need from me and what I can do to assist them in their role. Meeting with a bunch of the department heads throughout the city. They've been super helpful with helping me get under my feet and start. Heather's been great. Yeah, if it wasn't for the admin girls, I'd be lost. They keep me on track, but no, it's going well. Yeah.
We
You guys
wish you
have
the
any
best.
questions? Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Chief. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, first item here, reports oral and written. We have the Fire Department monthly report, Lutheran EMS. Thank you.
Oops.
Well, I just want to echo that Joel and I've worked side by side for many years, and so I was very excited when the announcement got made, and I look forward to our departments working many years to come together. So this month, I'm glad Mike's here. Mike, last month I had a surprise for you. I added some more data. I don't know if you saw that. And so David and Gordon got to appease me last month and listen to me, but this is really for you that's on here. So,
Okay, thank you.
So if you look at this month's report, you'll see we had a total of 455 calls. You'll see how those on the first page of the report breaks down between the calls canceled, how many we transported. During the month of March, we had 184 people that were trained on CPR, and then we had an additional 10 car seats that were installed, and that's here within our entire coverage area. So that really shows the difference in the impact that we're making within the community outside of just even the 911 calls. So I wanted to kind of add a little bit of that information so you guys knew outside of that what all we were doing. So as you move through the report, you'll see that our times stay pretty consistent in regards to getting to the scene, not just quickly but appropriately, taking those patients where they want to go and transporting appropriately. As you move through the report, you'll see again, the times are very consistent. We are seeing that we're getting busier earlier in the day and staying busier later in the day. That's consistent though as we get warmer because people just get up moving faster in the day. They stay out longer, and we know that. So we expect that. That's pretty normal. Through the winter and late into the fall, we expect to see that trend. So that's pretty normal. So you do see in the month of March, those numbers consistent to being up compared to almost what we saw in January. During the month of April, you'll see another peak in how busy we're getting. During the month of March, our department actually went through a lot of mental health training. We have a team called our peer support team and focused, there's a world renowned speaker, his name's Travis Housey, actually went to that speaker and talked about mental health and the importance of it, which I know this board hears a lot about the mental health of first responders and how important that is. So spent some time throughout the month really taking care of our staff and taking care of where they can kind of grow as people too. So that way they can be there for the community. Questions?
Any questions?
I don't have a question, but I do want to, on a personal note, thank you and your team
course.
In assisting my family in April. It doesn't show on here, but they came and transported my mother to hospice care, and they were great.
Oh, good.
They did a fabulous job, and I just want to say thank you.
Of course, absolutely. They are great people. Okay.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Chief, the March activity report, any comments on that?
No, I just want to note that you can see through there. I don't know if you guys have any questions or had a chance to look through it, but we had 285 responses in March. And I will note that 80 incidents were overlapping, so that is a 31%. So again, it was, as I went through them, it's an overlap. It could be a medical call, could be a fire call. There were some of those where we depleted all our stations at the same time. So that's just a note that I want to make to try and curb that, but that is in there as well. Pretty standard calls. You'll see we assisted Pierceton and Burkett, and then we also received assistance from Leesburg and Winona Lake on a structure fire we had, and then another fire that we had. We asked for Winona Lake on that to help us there as well. Other than that, just pretty routine calls. We trained for 736 hours in the month of March, excuse me, on anything from technical rescue to hazmat to basic EMT, CARES training, again with the mental health that Lutheran EMS did. Team building, and then some drone training as well. When it comes to the community outreach, we are in the schools for the month of March and April. So obviously this is only for some of March, but we do our Firefighter of the Day program in the fall, and then our grade-specific programs in the springtime. So we were in the schools doing that as well, so that will be reflected on there. Other than that, I don't have anything else unless you guys have any questions.
Any questions from the board?
Lots of overlaps.
There is lots of overlaps.
Is that a little higher than normal? Does anybody else remember? Do they keep it around 30%, or is that?
I want to say it was in the in the low 20s.
See, that's what I thought. So this was an unusually high overlap.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
It's actually about a year ago when we started really tracking it.
Yeah.
About 25 to 28.
Okay.
Under Chief Mayo, it's consistently about 30 to 33%.
Okay.
About one.
Month after month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
So we're not, I mean, as Chief said,
It's not-
we're not crazy, but
Right.
it's a lot of the time. If
Did
you
it?
do
Yeah.
Well, the mayor said 1 in 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Thanks, Chris, for that.
Yes, sir.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the reports as presented.
I so move.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor? please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Thank you for that. CARES update, the newsletter has been presented. Chris, any comments on this? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Just normal monthly report. I know on the back, Michaela broke this down a little bit to show what resources we're actually doing out there. We had 51 contacts with folks. And this is for April, just as a reminder, we're kind of a month ahead because she puts it together right at the end of the month. So we did a lot more elder care consultation, and that can include, we just had a referral for someone whose mother is dealing with dementia, not really sure where that's going to go, so we'll try to help them get pointed at resources and help them be able to stay in their own home if at all possible. So those are just some of the things we do. So you can see numbers-wise, February was 48, March was 45, April 51. So we're just cruising along. The ladies are busy. They did do some more training on substance abuse. This month, as we speak, actually this week, Michaela, along with Officer Francis from Warsaw PD, Tanya, our other CARES lady, and Karen Smith, who works in our office, are teaching and hosting a crisis intervention training for law enforcement at Warsaw PD. So all week this week, they're doing, I think, 8-hour days with a lot of different speakers bringing in different topics from the Beeman Home and Fellowship Mission and Parkview Police and all of these different agencies, and trying to give our law enforcement professionals a better idea of how to interact with people who may be suffering from a mental health issue. So it's pretty exciting stuff. I know they've got 17 or 18 students, I think, and it's being really well received. So we're hoping to do another one of those in the fall and open it up a little bit more to more first responders. The first one, they wanted to do more for law enforcement, just to get that knowledge out there.
Questions?
Thanks for doing that. I think it's really important.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to accept the update as presented.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Is there a second?
I'll second
There's
that.
a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Thanks for that, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Moving to item 3, it's the monthly expenditure report. Looks like operating fund 2243. Chief, any comments on that?
No, nothing that really jumped out to me, just general funds for our day-to-day operations. Unless you guys see something that you have a specific question on that I can answer, but pretty standard.
The equipment replacement fund 4410, Chief.
About the same thing, pretty standard. We did, the only thing that really caught my eye that I figured you might have some questions on, we updated all our iPads. They were due for an upgrade, so you'll see some cases in there for those and an upgrade to our iPads. But other than that, nothing really out of the ordinary.
Any questions from the board? I'll entertain a motion to accept the expenditure reports as presented.
Make that motion.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Thank you. Vehicle purchase, Chris, keeping you busy. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So as you'll note, the letter is in here that I wrote. This has already gone through Board of Works. We kind of, and this seems like it happens more often than I would like. We were a little bit pressed for time on this. They had one vehicle left on their lot. This Dodge Durango that we purchased is through a grant. So this is a zero matching. This cost us nothing for the vehicle itself. We do have some expenses. We are putting some lights and some signage on it to make it an official fire department vehicle. But we're hoping to recover those costs through this grant. We are given a monthly administrative fee that is just for turning in the paperwork. And I'm working with the clerk's office to see if we can utilize that money to cover the cost of the signage and the lights going in the vehicle. So Just wanted to make sure we had your permission. We've already received this grant. We received $376,231 for a grant from Indiana Family and Social Services. It's what we're using to cover Michaela's salary, but part of that grant ask was for a vehicle. So in the last paragraph, you'll note, when we originally budgeted for the vehicle, I wasn't asking for a whole lot. I lined up $25,000 as part of the grant for a vehicle. Under Chief Mayo, we realized pretty quickly that we weren't going to utilize all the salary that we had asked for, so we asked them to move $25,000 into the vehicle price, which more than covered the vehicle price of $43,972. It's a white Dodge Durango. It's the police package. We bought it with the state bid pricing, so that's why we didn't have to put out for bids and those things. And it's the same place we actually purchased the other Durango that we have, so it will look very, very similar to the Durango that Michaela drives currently. And by doing this, we're going to get rid of, I think finally, the purple Tahoe that we've had for way too long. I think it's finally going to be retired. I think Chief Schilling has an idea of what he wants to do with it, but that vehicle's finally going to be off the line. Tanya's been driving that since she came on, so I think the 250-some thousand miles and the constant oil pressure lights and warnings that go off, we'll finally get rid of it, so. That's the
And
goal.
again, Chris, you did say this was Board of Works approval on 4/8,
Yes, sir.
2024, and so Chris asking this board to approve it as well.
When would you expect delivery?
We actually already received it.
Okay,
As I
great.
said, we were very pressed. If we had waited, oddly enough, the common story, the price was going to go up quite a bit, and we would have to order it.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
And so we knew the money was there. We'd actually talked to the mayor about this. We brought it to Board of Works and got their blessing because it was a time thing.
Oh,
We
yeah.
wanted to save money, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
so.
With your approval, you won't have to take it back. Start driving that
Right.
purple
Yes.
truck again, yeah.
Yes.
You know, applying for these grants is so critical to the city, not just in this department, but in all departments, and I appreciate the effort. We all do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I recognize that sometimes the grants move faster than bureaucracy does, and I think we all have to be a little fluid with that.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
There were just a lot of parts on this.
Oh, yeah.
And we knew that if we didn't want to have to wait and pay more, we
Right.
had to pull the trigger. And so we kind of,
Sure.
we went backwards this time. But
Right.
Any other questions?
I'd make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Chris, you good?
yes, sir.
Good, all right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Thanks again, Chris, for all
Thank you
your
very
work on
much.
this. Thank you. Last item here, reports oral and written, claims. Chief, any comments here?
No, I know this was, it was approved at the Board of Works on 4/8 as well. And it was for the Board of Works and Mayor Gross, but I would agree. I know it's signed by Chief Mayo, but I would be in agreement of him too, to have Heather be able to sign for
Up to $2,000.
up to $2,000.
Good. Yeah, I apologize. Thanks for clarifying that. Yeah, that's correct. And so you can see that in the
Is that
memo.
the same as it was for our previous?
I want to say
Secretary?
yes,
Surely.
yeah.
Surely.
Does that amount continue to be, what do I want to say, a valid amount, a working, a
I'm guessing
workable
since-
amount? or-
I'm guessing
as
since
prices
it's the same.
increased,
Any
is-
comments from you, Heather?
No, I mean, the majority of the claims are under that threshold. The bigger purchase items that we do obviously are above that, and then the chief gets to look at those and sign those, and approve it.
I see, okay, okay. Very good, thank you. I don't have a problem
No
with
more
that.
questions? Okay. Entertain a motion to approve.
Make the motion.
Second? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, there is a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Thanks, Heather, for your help there. No unfinished business, there's no new business, but we do have travel requests. And Chief, I'll look in your direction again.
Yeah, just, again, to continue with our training, we have a few people going to some different classes to help help out the department.
Does
I
look
don't
like
know.
there's one in June, the end of this month, and then some that have already taken place. Any questions from the board on those?
I'd make a motion, we approve these.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Questions? Good? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. Another thank you. Any other matters? Any other matters? Any questions? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mike.
You know, we talked about it at council meeting. I didn't know if we should bring it up to the board members who weren't at the council meeting, discussing the repair on the ladder truck.
Oh, yeah. I had to go to the council to ask for monies to be transferred from, and I don't have the paperwork in front of me. I believe it was the equipment and machinery fund to our repairs fund for the repair of the ladder truck in the amount of $23,000. Where the waterway, the hydraulic hoses, and the electronics go through up into the ladder, at the base of the ladder, that swivel is bad, which will cause it to be inoperable. So we worked with the street department shop, our mechanic who oversees our whole fleet. He recommended that it go down to Pierce, just because if they did the work, Pierce would still have to come, and the cost of that, it's just, we're better off just to send it down there. And we save money that way, than having him invest his time that takes him away from doing other things as well, so.
What kind of turnaround time you think if they get the truck back?
I don't have that answer, I don't know.
Right.
I didn't get a chance today
Sure.
to meet with Damien to see, I wanted to make sure before we scheduled it that we had the monies to fix it and, before we sent it down there, but I'm hoping by next week we have a definitive date, because it's not gonna go down there until we know that there's a bay open for it. We can still utilize it to a point, but
Limited, right.
yeah.
Thank you.
I would assume that when you send a piece of equipment to the original equipment manufacturer, when they do the repair, do they have any kind of a 6-month warranty or some kind of guarantee on the work, or?
I can't answer that, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I would hope so.
Whereas if we
but
did it,
yeah,
there would not be.
Right.
But if they do it, I would hope maybe that
Yeah.
they'd say, yeah, we're guaranteeing this thing for 6 months, or.
Yeah, and at one point they talked about they had to remove the entire ladder from the actual chassis of the truck. But it sounds like they have remedied that they do not have to do that now. But there was a potential for it, so that was another thing that was like, we're better off to have them do it. And
Right.
And if they don't have to do that, maybe it'll come in less than,
yeah, one could only hope.
yeah.
Right.
Chief, I apologize while you were talking. It was Resolution 2024-0501, and it was a transfer from equipment and machinery to repairs and maintenance for $23,000. You may have
Yeah.
said it, I was looking it
That's
up.
what I thought, but I wasn't 100%
Okay,
certain.
good.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. Good deal.
And in the meantime, sorry. I
Oh,
don't
no,
mean to
go
interrupt.
ahead.
In the meantime, we do still have a backup plan with Winona Lake. They'll be called automatically, so we won't necessarily be going without an aerial. And most of the time when we have a call where we need more than one aerial or ours is out of service, they're right there to help us. So good working relationship with them goes a long way as well.
Mike, when this is all completed, between the two of us, we'll see if there is that warranty or anything like that. We'll report back.
Worth asking.
We'll try to, we'll report back. I bet there is, but next meeting, whenever this all happens, we'll update you on that. Any other matters, questions from the board? Okay, any questions or comments from any visitors? Appreciate you coming this afternoon, all of you, yeah, good. Keeping Chris busy. Yeah, you moved pretty good coming up and just,
It's getting better every day.
okay. With that, I'll entertain a motion then to adjourn.
Make the motion?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you very much. And welcome, Chief Schilling.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Evan.
Yes,